Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about One Battle After Another. And this movie came out in 2025, and it's directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, who's made many, many great films in the past. And I love his movies a lot, especially movies like There Will Be Blood, Magnolia, Boogie Nights, and Phantom Thread, I haven't seen in a while. And this one I honestly think is one of his best, even after just one viewing. Like, it had everything that I loved about his movies, and it looked great, not just because of it having interesting shots, but every shot in this movie felt as though it had intent behind it. Lots of long takes and extreme close ups on faces. And it always felt as though it had a purpose in terms of showing it that way. And because of that, I was okay with the close shots in this movie. And I also really enjoyed the music in the film. It always added a level of chaos to certain scenes and added to the emotions that I was feeling throughout the film. And the characters were very interesting to me, and I really loved following them. And this movie has multiple characters, and each one is given a lot of screen time, but I don't feel as though that hurts the pacing or the focus of the film because everything is developed so well, and the characters are very well defined, and I also love the character dynamics in this film as well. That because of all that, I was able to just go along with it and enjoy how things were happening. And this movie was quite unpredictable for me at many points. It had a very unique structure, and I had no idea where it was going for, I don't know, at least half of it, or maybe even more. And even parts where you could predict where it was going, it's never unsatisfying once you get to those moments in the film. There's comedy in this movie, and it always worked for me, and I was laughing a decent amount. And it was just consistently entertaining. This movie is like 2 hours and 45 minutes, and it flew by for me. At one moment, I was like, okay, how far into this movie are we? And it was like 45 minutes. I was like, wow, that felt like almost James Cameron level of pacing for his movies. Like, you snap your fingers, and all of a sudden, the movie is really close to being over, or we're done. And that's honestly what the pacing of this movie felt for me. It just flew by. It honestly felt like it was 90 minutes, or at least in that ballpark, or in a good way at the very least. And I honestly could not get enough of this movie. If it was longer, then I think I would be open and excited for that. And this movie does have multiple angles to it in which you can interpret it, and lots of things to take away. And there's talk about politics in this movie, and it's not always consistently about those topics, but it does mention them, and kind of in ways that makes fun of them, and also highlights, yeah, these things are bad and problems. And the movie never once, in my opinion, highlights as to whether or not you should feel as though if a character feels about one thing or another thing, if that's a good thing or a bad thing that they feel that way about a certain topic. It more or less lets you come up with your own interpretation as to whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing, and doesn't say explicitly whether or not you're supposed to like a certain character. You can like them, you can dislike them, and the movie still works, in my opinion. And the performances were pretty great in this movie. Like Leonardo DiCaprio, I thought he did a really great job. One thing that helps him out is not just how he plays his character like vocally and just looking the part and making me believe that he's a character, all that kind of stuff, but also how he plays his character physically. I love, and he just brings so much to the character in terms of how he physically performs him. There were details like that throughout the film that I just really loved, and that's the type of consistency that's throughout the entire film with all these actors. And Sean Penn, I thought, was fantastic, and I would honestly say that he stole the show, and he was probably my favorite part about the movie as far as performances go. And if he gets nominated for an Oscar, then I would not be disappointed, and I would love to see him win. He's got my vote. at the very least. And Benicio del Toro is in it too, and he does a great job. And without spoiling anything, I did mention that this movie has a very unique structure and it can be very unpredictable. Whenever it goes in certain directions or certain surprises that happen throughout the story, it never once felt unsatisfying to me, or it just felt as though, oh, that happened? Why did that happen? That didn't make any sense. It makes sense within the story because the film gives you just enough to figure out what's going on and makes it work within the context of the world that it's set up. And because of that, things just feel natural, even if they do come across as being a bit odd at times. And that's about all I have to say about One Battle After Another. I thought it was really great, really loved it, would definitely watch it again. It's currently on HBO Max. That's how I watched it, and I would totally buy this movie on physical media. I'm not sure if it's going to get a 4K Blu-ray or not, but I'll definitely see it again. Really loved it, and I don't really have much else to say about it other than I would highly recommend it. And this might change over time if I were to rewatch the film, possibly, but I'm just going to go all out on my rating system for this, so I just really love the film. So with all that being said, I'm going to give One Battle After Another a 10 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of One Battle After Another, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Eternals. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching, and have a great day.